So we take him to the airport last night. We get everything done. He's vaccinated. He has to do a test 3 days before at least. Right, so we go to the airport. He's armed with the vaccination. He's armed with the negative COVID test, and he's got a plane ticket, of course. We go in 2 hours before the flight, and it's madness. And the woman's like, okay, has he got his vaccination? Yeah. Has he got his negative test? Yes. Has he got his proof of purchase for the test, for the test on day 2 and day 8 of isolation? I'm like, whoa, what? And they're like, yeah, you need to pay for a test in advance of you leaving the country on day 2 and day 8 of your isolation. I was like, well, they didn't say anything about that. We got a confirmation email. There was nothing about that at all. So anyway, she says, okay, you can do it now. Here, scan this code. You're just going to pay. But fuck me. The process was the most complicated, difficult thing ever. It's really, it takes you to third parties. And every time you click a link, it opens another window. It was just a fucking nightmare. It was a disaster. So I was it was so
for your lack of patience, you gave up on your son's dream.
No. No, not at all. I'm not that bad. No. So we're at the airport, and I'm doing it, and I'm trying to be so nice to the woman, right? She's like the desk manager, if you will.
Right.
And I'm like, if I keep her on side and I kiss her ass, maybe she was walking me through it a little bit, but then she just got bored and fucked off. And I didn't know what the next steps were. And I'm like, miss, bearing in mind, the clock is ticking before check-in closes. Do you know what I mean? And it was just going all wrong. And I'm like, miss, please. And then eventually she goes, I feel harassed. I'm like, what do you mean you feel harassed? How can you possibly be harassed? I said, I'm being very, very polite and very nice. I just don't know what to do. And you are the staff. I hate to say it, but this is kind of your job. Do you know what I mean? I said, please. I said, I'm just looking for assistance. And she stormed off, and no one would help us. And we're trying to do it. And then I asked someone else, and the other woman, she was like, no, leave me alone. I've got my own job to do. I'm like, oh. And then, of course, this is against a time crunch, and the clock is ticking down. And then we finally do it, and it gives this code. And then we put the code in. We get a code when we book the test, and you put the code in on this other website. It wouldn't recognize the code. No. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, miss, look, we've done it. There's a receipt. We've paid for it. There's the code. It just won't recognize the code. She goes, well, you've got 3 minutes to make it recognize it because check-in closes. No. And I'm like, please, for the love of God. I'm like, we're shaking, and Callum's getting off.
Not to interrupt, but do you think she saw the video of you being treated like a chump in New Orleans, and she was like, this guy's not going to do shit. I'll talk to him however I want.
Yeah, probably, because I'll get to that in a minute, actually. So anyway, we give it a couple of minutes and check-in closes. And that's it. It's done. And I am, oh, God, I'm pissed. But I didn't say anything. I didn't cause a scene or anything. Callum's like devastated.
Is he really upset?
Of course, yeah. He's going off to England for the Commonwealth Games, for selection. It's very exciting to him, and he doesn't know. He thinks that's it. It's done. It's gone. I'm like, son, it's fine. There's a lot more flights. We'll get you on the next flight. So before we leave the airport, I think I'll go up to the check-in desk. The same lady, I say, right, okay. Obviously, we've missed our plane. But she goes, wait.
You really are the British Larry David. You can't. Same lady you had to go to.
No, well, she was the lady. I asked the check-in staff. No. Sorry, like they were walking by, like all the crew for our flight just to rub it in. I went, excuse me, sir, do you mind if I ask you a question? I said, we've missed our flight. I said, we need to get him on the flight tomorrow. I told him what happened. He said, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, should we just do it at home online, or are we better off doing it at the ticketing desk? He says, no. Don't leave the airport. Do it there at the ticketing desk. I said, thank you very much. So I go up, and it's the same lady, right? I wait my turn politely. I don't say a word, right? And when she comes, I say, look, listen. I said, can we start again? Can we start again? Because the pressure situation has gone. There's no ticking time bomb. There's no clock ticking down. That ship has sailed. That plane has gone. Do you know what I mean? So
that ship has literally sailed.
Yeah, that ship has gone. It's gone. So I'm not under pressure now. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, let's just take our time. And I'm not like a little auntie. So I said, can we just start again? I said, listen, I didn't mean, if we did anything to annoy you or get on your nerves, I apologize. I said, but I was just trying to get my son on the plane. She's like, sir, I'm not interested in any of that. How can I help you? I said, well, he needs another flight. Anyway, we start getting him on the plane. And then she's like, oh, by the way, you're a pussycat. You are nothing compared to most people that I deal with. And I'm like, oh my God. So why are you telling me that you feel fucking harassed? Anyway, there you go. So tonight we go back to the airport. We try all over again. But I'm telling you, that process, Rebecca was here today with Callum for about 3 hours. There's so much documentation. It is absolutely crazy.
That is specifically to go to England.
Yeah.
From this, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go through all this. Good thing you told me this, because I'm a last minute motherfucker. I wouldn't have checked any of this stuff.
It was so fucking annoying. No, but we thought we'd done everything. We had the vaccination, we had the negative COVID test, and even on the email, it didn't talk about this. I had seen that you can take a test after 5 days to get out of the quarantine early. And by the way, there's no quarantine if you're vaccinated.
So do I have to get vaccinated to go?
Oh, I'd probably say so, yeah. But listen to this. Listen to this. The absurdity of it all. There's no 10-day quarantine if you're vaccinated, but only if you got vaccinated in the UK. So they're not recognizing vaccines done in America, even though it's Pfizer, the same one. They don't care. Yeah, they're being very xenophobic against your vaccinations, Lewis.